But I'm here. I'm here. I forgot my stand for the phone. I left it upstairs. And I'm not going to go back up there to get it. But I am here. Mia Moore, I hope you're here because this is definitely for you. But even if you're not, there's always the replay. Let's see, how am I going to do this? Like I said, I forgot the stupid stand. Oh, man. Well, I'll do the best that I can with it. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to get in. I hope everyone had a great Friday. I hope work was not too difficult. I hope some of you got a chance to get your shopping done so that you can start your prep work. Hello, I can't see the chat, so I don't know who's in the room. Hi. Like I said, I forgot the stand, so at some point I'm going to put the phone down so that I can show you some stuff, share some stuff with you. And I hope, like I said, if you didn't get all your shopping done, I don't know if I'd want to be in the grocery stores tomorrow. Hey, Wonky. Hawk, I know you're somewhere. Hey, love. Yeah, the grocery store tomorrow is going to be horrible. So if I didn't get, what I wanted to do today, then I would wait until Sunday. While, some people are at church or, visiting with family. Some people probably because there's a lot of flights that have been canceled and more that are going to be canceled because they don't have enough pilots. Hey, Mia Moore, I'm glad you're here, babe. So a lot of people might be opting to drive, so they're taking off this weekend and they're traveling. So, hopefully they'll get whatever they needed to get, by tomorrow so that they can go ahead and hit the road. And then that'll leave more shopping time for you guys if you need it. So that's where we are. There will be no cussing, fussing, gagging, and well, no, I don't drag or anything like that. I just basically defend myself. But I'm not going to be here to do any of that. Hopefully everybody is doing what they're doing. Oh, you're hitting the road. See, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are going to leave out early because these flights are ridiculous. I was watching the news and yeah, I don't know. The flu season started early. Yeah, I don't blame you. Avoid the other shoppers. That's why I got everything that I needed last week. Uh, I live in the Midwest, so it's cold here. My turkey has been in the refrigerator at the bottom of my refrigerator since I got it, and it is still frozen. Some people know, some people don't know that you need to adjust if you know, if you don't have an ice box. You need to adjust your refrigerator and freezer temperatures from, summer to winter, because if you leave them up as high as you did during the summer, all of your stuff is going to be frozen and nobody wants to come, and have frozen milk and sour cream and, cottage cheese and jello, whatever you have in there. You don't want it frozen. So I did not on purpose adjust my stuff. Whoa, you got most of your Christmas shopping done in October. See, that's a woman. That's why we're friends. Because, see, we're right here with each other. I have a friend. We've been friends since our second year of high school. We went to college together and everything. We even went to the same grad school. She is my baby's godmother, her and her husband. Well, that long story. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, and I am her daughter's godmother. She purposefully waits until December 24th and runs like a mad hatter through every store, every mall, everything to buy presents, and then gets home and wraps them. And she says that it's fun. I'm like, are you okay? Are you seriously okay? Me either. I don't like crowds. I don't like any of that. When they started doing Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I was a happy individual. if I had some last minute stuff that I needed to do, but usually I got started getting my Christmas stuff like in July, August, September. If I had some last minute stuff, I had that done before Thanksgiving because you wait until the let me see my baby boy, he taught me. He's 23. He will be 24 soon. He was a fanatic for Scooby Doo. Before he could talk, he loved Scooby Doo, and everybody knew it. Well, this was a limited edition that we didn't know it was going to be limited edition. It was the Scooby Doo Rambler. Now, it was the mystery machine, and you could press a button on there and it would, wiggle and jiggle. And that's why they call it a Rambler. And it would make all the, the wheels spinning noises and stuff. He wanted that thing with a passion. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it I'm going to get it for him. I'm not going to tell him. And that went on for about a month. And finally, I had to break down and tell him, okay, I'll get it for you. And then my niece, like I said, she's the only girl among all the boys. Oh no, let me get it for him. I'm going to get it for him. And I'm like, okay, you got to get it because if you don't, we're going to have a difficult time. I'm still paying for that right now. She waited until the last minute. Hey, Miss Kikia. The last possible second, she goes to look for this Scooby-Doo Rambler and cannot find it anywhere. Then she told me, it's like December 3rd. I am on the internet searching for this thing. I'm in every store within, 300 miles. Cannot find this thing anywhere. Hey, Janice. My kid woke up Christmas morning. He tore open every damn thing that he had. Yeah, I'm still paying for that. Looking for this Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine Rumbler. He looked at me. He's like, where is the Rumbler? And I'm like, well, your cousin was supposed to get it for you. If he could have cursed me out, he would have the look on his face. Why would you let her? Why would you make her responsible? You know she doesn't do anything that she's supposed to do. Now I don't have it, do I? I'm like, no, sweetheart. Yeah. 23, I'm still listening about why he did not get that Rumbler. So do not wait till the last minute. Do not make anybody responsible for what your child, your nieces, nephews, cousins, godchildren, what they really want, and they told you they want it. Do not make anybody else responsible for that, because if you do, take it from me. Hey, Blue. 20 years later, you will still be listening about why you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So no, don't do that. Don't do that. That's why I started shopping in June, July, August, September. And if I, really waited to the last minute, yeah, by the first part of November, I had whatever it was, including whatever I was going to make for dinner. Right now, I have everything that I need for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, and for New Year. And New Year Eve, because New Year Eve we usually have seafood. The only thing that I need to get for Christmas that I do not have in the house, and that are the Yukon Gold potatoes. That's it. Oh, Santa with the magic wand. Okay, yeah. See, these children, they know what they want. And if you don't come through, you have some hostile little people on your hands. And they don't forget. They never forget. 20-something years later, and they still don't forget. But anyway, okay, we can get started. Let's talk about what we're going to have for Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving usually does not change because it's tradition. So for our Thanksgiving dinner, we are going to have, some people call it stuffing. We call it dressing because I don't stuff turkeys. So that's why it's called dressing and not stuffing. So we're going to have cornbread. dressing, and I make it simple and easy. I know some people put cranberries, raisins, apples. I would be thrown out of my house if I did that. It's going to be simple. Homemade cornbread, um, dried out, bread. I don't buy the cubes. Why would I when bread is cheaper? I'm not going to pay, $6 for a bag of dry bread when I can get a loaf of bread for, nowadays $2 and dry it myself. So I'm going to have that, sauteed onions, celery, and green pepper. Some people don't like that, so they leave it out. And I prefer poultry season over sage, because with poultry season, you already have your black pepper in there, you have your sage in there, and you have your thyme in there, which is basically what that is. Hey, Freddie. Hey, my boo. All right, hold on. Hey, Vibrant. Now, Freddie, you can get off my butt. Okay, so yeah, and I saute my veggies just until they're tender but not mushy, because they're gonna cook again. Cooks early and you don't like, okay. Yeah, basically the only, and see, when I was younger, I would make everything homemade, including the rolls. Well, now I've gotten older, so it's rolls, frozen rolls, and I actually put them in the pan that I'm gonna bake them in, and butter in the pan, a little bit of butter on top, put a piece of plastic on it, and let them slow rise in the refrigerator, and then that way, when it's almost time for dinner, half an hour before, you just put them in the oven. They're already risen. I don't have to worry about any of that. Just put them in there, let them bake, and they come out hot and delicious. You're more than welcome, Freddie. So yeah, I do that the easy way. So back to that. So add my chicken broth or chicken stock to that, and then combine the two different types of bread, pour the veggies in the liquid over in there, and mix it up. And over the years, you learn new things. If my mother did not use any of the like chicken soup, the cream of chicken soup or mushroom soup or anything, but one of my dear friends, she would add that. So I decided to try it, and it gave it a different texture. It wasn't, I don't know, how do I describe it? It wasn't creamier. Well, for me, hey, the truth, it replaced the eggs, because a lot of people will beat up eggs and they'll put it in their stuffing. I don't do that, so it's a replacement for the eggs, so it makes it, a little bit lighter and fluffier. So I replace a can of cream of chicken soup for the eggs. And that way, it's safer for me to be able to taste it. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much how I do that. Turkey, I spoiled my family so about 10 years ago. I started deep frying the turkeys instead of putting them in the oven. Kind of sorry I did that. Ooh, you thinking about making lasagna soup? Mm-hmm. That sounds good. Now, I have never made lasagna soup, but I've heard of it. And, one of my little people loves lasagna, so that would be a hit. But that would probably be something that I would do for New Year. Yes, I love Cajun deep fried turkey. And how do you do it? Well, for me, Wonky, it's easier because you don't have to spend any time basting it and checking on it every 20 minutes, half an hour, and it doesn't take 7-8 hours for it to cook. It's 15 minutes, and then every 3 minutes for every pound the bird weighs, and that's it. So your turkey could be done, if you've got a really small one, it could be done in 45 minutes. So it's quick, easier. The as long as you're really careful about how you're heating up your oil, but they have them now that you don't have to go outside to deep fry them. They have the electric ones. You can use it in the house. I have never used that one because I like to live dangerously. So I still do the one where you have your propane tank and your huge pot, and just like you guys would use for seafood boil. But the one thing that I do is I always have the fire extinguisher nearby because you never know. And the last thing you want to do is burn down your house or burn down your vehicle, because some people actually try, especially when you live in a cold climate or if it's snowing outside, some people will actually put that in their garages and try to do it. And you could get in a lot of trouble with that. You're right. You never put frozen turkey in an air fryer. You don't even put them in with moisture on there. So what I do is I season mine and I do a dry brine with mine. Dry brine. I don't do the wet brine because when you soak it in there for 12 hours or whatever, now you have all this moisture inside, and you can pat it dry all day long, but you never know where that moisture will leak out from, and then you're in trouble. So I dry brine mine, and okay, so Thanksgiving is on a Thursday. I will clean my turkey on Tuesday. I will put all the dry brine seasoning on there, and I put it in like the 2-gallon Ziploc freezer bags. Put it in there, put it at the bottom of the refrigerator. And remember, I have not adjusted my refrigerator to winter temperature, so it's still very cold in there. And then I will let it stay in there. And then let's say if I'm gonna have Thanksgiving dinner about 2, I will get up like 8 o'clock in the morning, take that turkey out of the refrigerator, put it on a platter, pat it dry, and let it air dry. And then right before I'm ready to fry it, then I will re-season the skin. It's already, perfectly seasoned on the inside, but once you pat it dry, you're wiping off some of the season. So I re-season the outside right before I get ready to put it in the fryer. So now I know that whatever juices have come from it are on the platter. So I've gotten rid of those. I know that the skin is dry because I patted it dry and I let it air dry. Ooh. Well, what did you do to it, Freddie? That's kind of odd. See, that's why I do it. Oh, wow. You forgot to turn the oven on. And you know what? You're not the first person that's ever happened to. That's happened a lot. Or some people, it's like, oh, I'm going to get this over with, and they'll put the turkey in the oven at night. Now, if you got a 24, 30-pound turkey and you want to put it in the oven at night and you put it on 200 degrees, it might take a good 12 hours for it to get done. But if you've got a smaller turkey, then that all dried out and all it falling off the bone, and that's good if you're feeding a nursing home and you're just gonna mush it up in the juice. But no, that's what deep fried turkey, they are so juicy, excuse me, and succulent. And that skin, it's like fried chicken skin, and everybody in my house fights over the skin. Everybody's trying to grab the skin, and I don't like I said, I don't like the dark pieces of meat, but they'll fight over the turkey legs or the turkey wings because they're covered in that crispy skin. So yeah, those are a big hit in my house. And I guess the best part about it is not having to worry about a bunch of leftovers, because people literally will put everything else down to eat the turkey. And that kind of makes me sad because I like to have the leftover turkey sandwiches. But with a deep fried turkey, I don't like the breast for sandwiches because it doesn't I don't know. It doesn't taste the same to me. So, if I'm, really want a turkey sandwich, then maybe, the next week I might put a turkey breast in the oven to bake it just so that I could have some turkey sandwiches or whatever. So that's how it goes for me. So, then we've got our dressing, we've got our deep fried turkey, and this is, some people get mad at me about this, but as far as I'm concerned, Thanksgiving is not about vegetables. I'm not trying to be healthy on Thanksgiving. I will open up a bag of frozen mixed vegetables, throw them suckers in the microwave, put some salt, butter, and some black pepper on them, and just sit them there just so that we can say we had vegetables. But we don't care about vegetables. We want the ham, we want the turkey, we want the dressing, we want the macaroni and cheese, we want the roll. We want all of the good stuff, and screw off with those vegetables. We don't want none of that. You don't like turkey? Vibrant. What? Then what do you eat? You just eat the ham? Oh, shoot. You put the sausage and ground beef in yours? Yeah, a lot of people do that. Okay, you're doing turkey wings, macaroni and cheese, dressing, collard green. See, that's cool. Now, I save my collards. I like to have those on New Year. You got to have that green vegetable, for your money. You got to have your pork for your prosperity. And I don't do those black-eyed peas because I don't want any hard lumps in my life at all. Period. So you forget that. And we're not doing that. We don't want nothing hard around here. Well, some things we want hard around here, but not black-eyed peas. We don't want that. Nope. We don't do that. And then my southern thing is when we have those collards, you gotta have that hot water cornbread. I don't want buttermilk cornbread. I don't want regular cornbread. I want hot water cornbread with those collard greens. We usually will eat like regular cornbread. My family likes that with chili. Or, sometimes we'll have it, like if I'm making fried catfish, we'll have spaghetti and coleslaw, and then they like a sweeter version of cornbread. So we'll have it that way, but not on New Year. Gotta have that hot water cornbread. So that's what we do. So yeah. So the dressing, the turkey, the macaroni and cheese, and for Thanksgiving, I do between 5 and 6 cheeses for my macaroni and cheese. I have to have Gruyere, Gouda, extra sharp cheddar, American. The one cheese that I do not like in my macaroni and cheese, I don't like mozzarella in my macaroni and cheese. I will use it for anything else, but not in my macaroni and cheese. And sometimes, I will use the Velveeta, but not all the time. But by the time I'm finished, and then I'll have my Parmesan cheese in there. By the time I'm done, and my provolone cheese. Sometimes I'll use brick cheese. Sometimes I'll use Havarti. So yeah, we'll round it down. It's between 5 and 6 cheeses for my macaroni and cheese, but that's only once a year. That is not something that you want to eat all the time, because you have to have the macaroni. You got to have that butter in there. Sometimes I'll add cream cheese, sometimes a little bit of sour cream. I mix it up all the time. So, I never know what it's going to be from year to year. It just depends. But it's always going to be between 5 and 6 different cheeses. And I don't know. I might just do like a short to show you, what our plates look like, or, maybe some before it goes in the oven, some, after it comes out, and then maybe a plate so that you'll see, what it looks like. And some people like one of my sister-in-laws, she loves to have cranberry orange relish instead of cranberry sauce. And that's wonderful for her. But most of us are like, we want the stuff in the can. We want that jelly cranberry sauce, the stuff in the can. It's just not Thanksgiving without that. So, if she makes it and I'm having them over here, then, we'll put it on the table and whoever wants it can. But like I said, when I do open house Thanksgiving, the house is open from like 11 until 6. So, yeah, we'll go through about 8 cans of cranberry sauce. And we'll still have her stuff left over, which I give to her to take it home because I'm not eating it. I don't want fresh cranberries with ground up oranges in there. I just you put that anywhere in my dressing and gravy, and you might get hurt. Pretty much. I don't want any of that. Where's my chat? Okay, there we go. Sorry I missed you guys. Hey, Matthew. Doing that Mr. Come Get Me voice of yours. I'm glad you stopped over. Oh, yeah. Cornish hens. Love Cornish hens. I usually make those I might make them for Christmas sometimes. I might make them for Easter. Okay, Vibrant, your menu sounds almost like what my Christmas menu would be. Like the asparagus, we'll have mashed potatoes or loaded mashed potatoes or loaded baked potatoes. And yeah, I am not really a big asparagus eater, so I will have green beans on the side. That's just my thing. I don't like the way asparagus smell. $50 for the peanut oil? See, that's why I'm glad I started ahead of time. I had my 3 gallons of peanut oil. I've had them since June. I tried to tell you guys to start shopping early. Oh, you got a turkey breast for $15? Okay. Well, you know what? And that's a good price. It really is. Okay, you like your cornbread with honey? That's pretty cool. And that'll replace the sugar, so that's not bad. But yeah, that is not a bad price compared to, well, in last year they were saying, oh, there's a shortage of turkey. So I think, what did I pay? Because you can do that thing if you spend $25 or more. Don't come in here with no marshmallows on no sweet potatoes. Ew. Listen, that's Brooke's thing. That's not my thing. I think turkeys were like 79 cents a pound last year. This year, actually, I wound up getting 2. The one I got, spend $25 or more, and the turkeys were 47 cents a pound. And then I got another one because, see, that's how I am. Right now, I have my standing rib roast. I have 2 of those in the freezer. I have 2 hams in the freezer. So when I take out the ham now to use for Thanksgiving, another turkey will go in the freezer. And when the hams go on sale, after Christmas, I'm going to have another ham to replace that one. See, you're not going to catch me like that. Olives, I like green olives, but I don't like black olives. I have not acquired a taste for those yet. And olives that I love Spanish olives that have been marinated in garlic and I don't know whatever else they put in there, but those are delicious. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll check that out, True. That must be the one that you use inside. Okay. Okay, you know what, Vibrant? I don't blame you for being a food snob. You know, there are certain times that you should make everything from scratch. And I think Thanksgiving is one of them. If you can't make things from scratch for that one day, that's a problem. This is the day that you're supposed to go all out. Okay, for New Year's, you like to have your pig feet, your black eyed peas, and your cornbread and greens. Okay, Janice, you should be one lucky individual then because you got it all. You've got the whole menu of good luck stuff. You don't serve macaroni and cheese. Well, Vibrant, see, you're a healthy person, so I can understand when you don't want all the rich cheese and cream and all that stuff. So yeah, I could accept that from you. I can accept that from you. Red rice, turkey breast, mashed potatoes, green bean salad, stuffed crescent rolls, and cake. Oh, yeah. Okay, you like cake instead of pie. Well, see, we have both. Um, I have to make sure I have the sweet potato pie for the family. I prefer to have, the candied sweet potatoes on my plate. I can take or leave the sweet potato pie. So, usually I'm the cake person. If you ask me what my favorite food is, it's cake. So, oh, you got a free turkey and gave it to your daughter. That's pretty cool. You're a good mom. That was nice. Okay, 29 cents a pound. I need to come where you are. Uh, Pecans, or you say pecans, are expensive as usual. Well, see, you need to have a friend that lives in Carolina or somewhere where they have the pecan trees, so they can mail you some. And that's kind of one thing. Like I said, I switch it up, so every year is not the same. Some years I'll make a 7 Up pound cake. Some years I'll have a butter cake, and I will put a pecan glaze on there. Some years I'll have a butter cake, and I will make homemade caramel, not frosting. I don't know what you call it. A caramel glaze. It's like where you melt the sugar and add the evaporated milk to it, and then once it's calmed down and thickened up, and when it's cooling, then you add butter to it and just pour it all over the cake. It reminds you of the caramel that's on um, what do you caramel apple that people eat for Halloween. Yeah, I'll do that stuff. And then some years it's um, carrot cake. Yeah, because that's what I like. Now for Christmas, I always cater more to the family because it's about the kids. So if it's gonna be cake, then it's gonna be a yellow cake, butter cake with chocolate frosting. Because that's what they want. And to satisfy me, I like Dutch apple pies. So it's the one crust with the crumbled topping on top. That's satisfying me. And then I have this standing rib roast, and like I said, it's either just buttered mashed potatoes or loaded mashed potatoes or loaded baked potatoes, and then whatever kind of vegetable, like I said, asparagus for them, and green beans for me, and then just some rolls, and then if I make cookies, then it's going to be the standard chocolate chip cookies, uh, shortbread cookies with the frosting on the top, and I don't know. One year I made mincemeat cookies, which they were really good, and almost like, I'm trying to think, like a spice cookie. Those are really good. So it depends on what's going on. A chocolate pudding pie, but the crust was store bought. There's nothing wrong. Listen, I'm just gonna tell you about me. The older I get, the lazier I get. I love frozen pie crust. I don't have to worry about if it's gonna come out right. Do I have enough? None of that. It's just so much easier for me just to put the stuff in a shell and keep it going. Vibrant. You're not fond of sweet stuff. Creme brulee, I love that. But you're right. I wouldn't make it at home. That's something that I eat when I go to an Italian restaurant. Or French restaurant. I'm sorry, not Italian, but French. We have a restaurant here in my area. It's Cucina's, and they have the best creme brulee. And you can get it, just plain with the sugary topping on it, or you can get it with raspberries, and I don't like raspberries, so I don't do that. I just want mine plain. I don't want the fruit on there. So we're good with that. But you are just the healthiest person. Maybe that's why you can go and deal with every chat room in this beef sector, because your body is just made and built healthy, and none of this stuff gets on your nerves because you are so healthy. So that might be the reason why you can deal with it. I don't know. But like I said, the things that you eat for Thanksgiving, that shouldn't be something that you eat every day or every week or anything like that, because if so, we'd all probably be dead before we got to be 25. You just don't eat like that all the time. Not at all. So, does anybody have a special recipe that they would want to share with us? Like I said, my stuff is really simple. I try to keep it really simple. My ham, I don't like spiral ham because to me they dry out faster. So I like the old fashioned ham where you have to take the skin off, you have to score it yourself, and instead, like some people would soak it in water overnight, and I soak mine in 7 Up, and I score some little holes into the meat, around the bone, so all that extra salt can ooze out. Because like when you're doing meat, it's the same thing with any meat. Like if you're seasoning steak or chicken or whatever, when you salt it and you have the season on there, that salt will draw out of the meat, and then whatever needs to go back in will go back in, and then all the rest of those juices you can just get rid of. What's the same thing with the ham? When you put your little holes in there or whatever, it allows the sugar from the 7 Up to seep in there, and the fluids exchange. So therefore I don't have a salty ham. It's usually balanced. You have the salt, but you have a little bit of sweetness to it. And then when I cook it, people, how when I grew up, it was the cherries, the maraschino cherries, and the, canned pineapple rings. Well, I used fresh pineapples. They were actually on sale, for $1. So I got 2 of them. And I do freeze pineapple, by the way. You can freeze just about any fruit. So I will, take my fresh pineapple and I will cook it along with my ham, and I will have a honey glazed pineapple ham. So that's what we have. Okay, you're good at making cakes because you follow the instructions, and that's a good thing. Follow the instructions when you're baking. Mincemeat is not bad, mi amor, when it's made in a cookie. I've never had mincemeat pie. I don't think that I would ever eat that. That's not going to go down very well with me. In a cookie, you didn't really taste it. It tasted more like just an ordinary spice cookie to me. Deviled eggs are a must. Yes, my family likes deviled eggs. But again, usually that'll be something that I would make for Christmas or for New Year, because with Thanksgiving, it's just too much other stuff. Unless I'm having the open house situation, then I would go and do that, and I would have, the cheese and, platters, and the fruit platters, and the veggie platters, and the dip and the chip, because we're going all out. But if it's just me and my family, we're not going to make any deviled eggs, because we eat those enough, just being, just us, especially in the summertime. You don't want to have a whole lot. If I make chicken salad, I might, have some deviled eggs. If I make tuna salad, might have some deviled eggs on the side, or just have them. So, because sometimes it could just be too warm and you don't want anything heavy. So we may just have a salad and, have some deviled eggs with it. Always, 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 always follow instructions when you're baking. When you're cooking, you can go ahead and you can go off track. Like Vibrant, she's a pretty healthy person. So if I were giving instructions on how to, make mashed potatoes, and if I'm going to tell you, yeah, you need to add a whole stick of butter to that. Well, that's not something that she's going to do. So if she uses a half a stick of butter, or she uses, a tablespoon of butter, that's fine. If I say, okay, I want you to use heavy whipping cream, and she decides to use skim milk, it's totally okay. You can do that when you're cooking. But when you're baking, follow instructions, or if you're going to substitute something, like some people will substitute applesauce for oil. I would say try it out on your own before you give it to somebody else, because sometimes you may not be able to substitute, a whole cup of oil, applesauce for a cup of oil. You might be able to do half and half, but you don't know that, and you don't want to, think you're going to prepare this and give it to somebody on a holiday, and you've got a whole big flop on your hands. So always try it out first. That's my whole thing about baking. Ooh, now that's what I want. I want your recipe for sofrito. And people make it different, and now I did make this one time, and it was with the oh shoot, I don't remember the name of the brand that I got of the green sauce in a jar. I used that, and I made, what is it called? What do you guys call it? The Pernell pork roast. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Mia Moore, but it was delicious. But I would like to, do it, from scratch, and use the sofrito and all of the ingredients that you're supposed to use, because I know there's something in there, and it's not called cilantro, but it's on that order. It's not parsley and it's not cilantro. It's another herb, but I don't know what it is. You don't know what mincemeat is? Actually, mincemeat is a combination of different fruits. Apple, raisins, whatever, and they're ground down really fine, and they add, it's usually it's animal fat that's in there, and that's why they call it mincemeat. But there's not, it's not any like ground beef or anything in there. It's the fat from the animal, and I believe it's pork. Well, yeah, Vibrant, you are definitely of sound mind. Sound mind and sound body. So you get it going on. Yes, baking is a science. You want to see how much of it is? Try substituting baking soda for baking powder. And, if you don't know it, baking powder has baking soda in there. It's just another ingredient that goes with it. So when you add soda to something, it reacts right away. And when you use baking powder, it reacts while it's in a bowl, and then it reacts again when that heat hits it. So that sometimes, especially when you're using buttermilk, you will have a recipe that will call for baking soda And depending on what it is, it may be both baking soda and um, baking powder. Brown sugar on, yep, truth, I've done that too. I've done like brown sugar and mustard glazed ham. One year I did brown sugar and apple jelly glazed ham. Hey, soul sister, thank you for coming. What are you gonna make for Thanksgiving? So yeah, I have one friend. She makes the best homemade apple jelly, and I would glaze my ham. And oh, you talking about delicious? Oh my goodness, just absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, the diamond pattern in the fat on the ham. Yep, I think, you know, especially for people my age and older, we grew up with that. The ham was like the star of the show. That was the beautiful piece on the table. That looked, better than the turkey. And that's how we did it. Chestnuts. I don't like the taste of chestnuts. Mm-mm. Hey, hey, how are you doing, my friend? Tell me, what kind of drinks are we going to be having on Thanksgiving, Miss Monty? Because I know you are the drink queen. I know you're going to mix something up that's going to be delicious. Mm-mm. Yes, ham can be the only thing that I say about ham, don't overcook it. I mean, seriously, basically, when you get the ham, it's already done. It's really already done. So you're making sure that you're heating it all the way through, and that your glaze is on there. But I mean, that is not something that you need to cook for 4 hours, unless you got a 50-pound ham, then maybe so. But if not, you want to heat it through. And because if you cook a ham, that stuff is like chewing leather. You don't want that. That's gross and disgusting. You need all the butter in the potatoes. That's what I'm talking about. Miss Money, when I'm making my mashed potatoes for Christmas, I want the butter. Forget the milk. We're going for the least we're going to do is half and half. But we might be doing heavy cream. Don't play with me. Not for the holidays. I want all that fat and all that goodness. Yummy. Okay, Vibrant. Yeah, I know you don't drink, and that's good. That's good. That's one habit you don't have to worry about. Oh, is that what it's called? Culantro. Yes. That's that word that I was looking for. Okay. Okay, it's not as strong as cilantro. Oh yeah, some people don't like cilantro. I do. I do. I can't make guacamole without cilantro. I like it. I do. I like it a lot. And sometimes I make a avocado cream sauce, especially if like I'm gonna make fish tacos. So I'll make an avocado cream sauce, and that it's really easy and it's good. It's only avocados and Mexican crema, and I will add cilantro and salt, and instead of pepper. Like I said, I don't really like stuff really hot, but I do have a green hot sauce, and just enough just to add a little bit of flavor to it, and that's really good, especially on fish tacos. I like that a lot. Ah, cool. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Mia Moore. Is the herb? I don't know. Vibrant. I wish I knew. Uh, I haven't. I had Spanish my first year of high school, and that was 2,000 years ago, and I wasn't really good at it then. So yeah, I have no idea. You want to chill this year? Yeah, exactly. Do not overcook that ham. I have a serious problem with overcooked ham. Ooh, no, don't do that. Like, don't overcook the ham. Don't overcook that. I'd rather you overcook my beef roast because I can add some gravy to that. But oh, the rest of that, that's a no. Butter on tacos. Uh, yeah, I've never heard of that. I'm not. No, thank you. Oh my god. Vibrant. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't know, Mia Moore. I have no idea. Hey, Diggy, how you doing, my friend? So, what are you making for Thanksgiving? Because I'm sure you're cooking. What are you making for dessert, my man? Hey, Miss Money, cornbread for Justin is different from cornbread that I want to eat with a meal for me because the cornbread for your Justin is supposed to be a little bit drier. It's not supposed to be that light, fluffy, airy, where you just that unctuous, or you just want to put a little piece of butter on there and let it melt in there, and it's just good, just delicious. That is not what you want to have for your dressing, because you want that cornbread to be a little bit drier because you want it to absorb your flavored liquid. So yeah, that's a whole. Okay, you're making your sweet potato pie. What else you making, Diggy? Mm-mm. I don't do pecan pie. No. Ooh, eggnog cake? No, I can get into that. I Pumpkin pie is okay. If I'm gonna have pumpkin pie, it's going to be flavored different than I would sweet potato pie. Now I know for some people, and everybody's different. When they make sweet potato pies, they'll add cinnamon, allspice, ginger, you just about every spice they have in the cabinet. And for me, I want my sweet potato pies to be, I want to taste the sweet potato. So the only spice that I use is nutmeg. That's just for me. You know, some people like vanilla extract, lemon extract. Some people will use orange extract. That's not me. Now, I'm just the total opposite when it comes to pumpkin pie. When it's pumpkin pie, I will add some cinnamon. I will add some cloves to it. I will add, just a whole laundry list of different spices, and I will add a little bit of vanilla flavor into it as well because I don't know. For me, I guess I'm trying to cover up the taste of the pumpkin. And for the sweet potato pies, it's just the opposite. I want to actually taste the potatoes. Basically, I want to taste the potatoes. I want to taste the butter in there. And, I don't even want to overdo it with the nutmeg. And just a little hint of it for me because I want to taste the potatoes. No, you're not going to overcook everything, Mia Moore. I'll come spank your hands. You're not going to do that. Vibrance. I don't understand. Sugar is really not good for you. I was so proud of myself at one time. I gave up sugar for 9 months. And I'm sorry that I ever stuck my toe back in the water. I really am. It's if you're a person that has problems with inflammation, edema, you have swelling, you have arthritis, you have you need to really check it out because sugar is not healthy. It really isn't, and I am sorry that I went back to eating sugar because you talking about being an addict. I'm addicted to sugar, really am. I mean, it's all bad. It's all bad. I have a little bit more control over it now. But it used to be a point if there was something sweet in my house, I would just eat it until it's gone. Now, I can leave it for other people and sometimes I won't touch it. Like there on my cabinet right now, there are um, peanut butter cookies with chocolate on them. I'm not touching that. First of all, I hate chocolate on my peanut butter, and that is sacrilege to me. I want my peanut butter with jelly on it, and I don't want chocolate on my peanut butter. Yuck. That's gross to me. I hate Reese's cups. I hate all of that shit. Sorry about that. No, I don't do that. I don't do that at all. Yeah, I really would. Miss Money, you're gonna have to tell me how to make this eggnog cake. I do. I like eggnog, especially if you put a little rum or a little bourbon in there, something like that. Yeah, we can do that. It smells so sweet. Hey, hey, my of you. Hey, lady love, how are you? Okay, now I'm sure, Miss of you, are you going out to your family's house for Thanksgiving, or are you gonna make dinner home for yourself, or are you gonna have your family over to your place? Yeah, sugar is very addictive, and I'm really sorry that I got into that. It turned your stomach. See, I wish it turned my stomach, but it doesn't. But, since I had the gastric bypass surgery many, many, many years ago, I cannot have sugar on an empty stomach. Because if I do that dumping syndrome, that is no fun. I get the shakes, it's like I look like somebody with Parkinson's, and I'll start sweating profusely, and I get really tired. I feel dizzy. It's just a horrible, horrible feeling. And then I have to eat something with protein to help level it out, and then the shaking will stop, and the feeling like I'm gonna pass out, that will stop. But usually if I'm in a situation where I can lay down, I will lay down and I will sleep for an hour or two, because it just drains you. That dumping syndrome is nothing nice. So I learned the hard way that I cannot eat anything sweet. Like first thing in the morning, people might have waffles with syrup or pancakes with syrup. I cannot do that. I cannot eat any sugar on an empty stomach. It makes me so sick. I can't do that. I can't eat too much starch at the same time. I mean, I really shouldn't eat. That's why when I say I don't eat a lot of rice, I don't. I don't eat a lot of rice. Um, yeah, I can eat potatoes, just fine, but I don't eat a lot of pasta because it makes me sick, literally sick to my stomach. So, okay, thank you, Miss Money. I can't wait. So, there are things that I will never be able to eat again. Like chicken breast. Sometimes it's very hard for me to eat. Um, any really dense meat, it's very, very hard for me to eat. It just sometimes it won't even go down, or it may go down and it doesn't want to be down there. So I'm not even gonna tell you the rest. But yeah, it's not good. Um, that surgery saved my life, but there are times when I wish that I had not done it. Yeah, it makes me sad too. Yeah, there are times when I wish that I had not done it, because sometimes I crave rice. Just to have a bowl of rice with just some salt and butter on there, I would love to eat that, and I can't. It doesn't work. If I can eat 2 tablespoons of rice, I stop, because I know anything after that and I'm in trouble. So I don't do it. And there are times, like I said, my family can eat chicken, 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 and more chicken, and I just can't eat it. It just doesn't work. So it is what it is. You have to live with your mistakes, whatever they are. We all have done things in our past that we wish we could undo, but it is what it is. So you do it and you move on. But hey, it's whatever it is. Now, I have a suggestion. I mean, I know most of you are not my age, nowhere near it, but I started thinking one day, your family, especially your children, you have favorite things that you make, and no matter where your children go, somebody else can make it and they'll say, man, that doesn't taste like yours. Or how come they don't make it the way you do? Or whatever. So I decided one day that I was going to put together a book of the things that I make that my family likes and let them know how I did it. So I'm going to turn you around. Try not to make you dizzy. Let's see. This is a book. It's a nice bound book. It's leather, and it has the little string in there where you can, hope you can see that, where you can hold the pages. And I just started putting in here the things that I know that I make that my family likes, just so that they would have a record of it. I mean, because anything can happen. I mean, you could be 25, and if that's your time, it's your time. We don't all know when we're gonna go. So I left instructions for how I make my sweet potato pies, how I make peach cobbler, how I make my chocolate chip cookies, how I make the spice cookie, how I make the Chicago lunchroom cookies, rum cake, banana pudding. That's just the case. How I make the zucchini bread, just all different types of things that in there, and then how I make, my steak, how I fry chicken, how I do this, how I do that, just so that they will have some reference, not that they need to follow it word for word, but just so that they have a reference. It's like, oh, that's how she did it. You have sons, they get married, or even if they don't get married, then it's like, well, I wish, I could have whatever that, my mom made or whatever. Okay, well, at least you have a reference. Even you don't have to do it exactly the way that I did it, but at least you'll have something as a reference. And if you have more than one child, then, you can make more than one book, or, you make the responsible one in charge of it, and they can always call and get a recipe from their other brother or sister, or, whatever it is. Yeah, Miss Money. Yeah, you're probably sick of rice. Yeah. So, yeah, that's why I did that, because my mother, okay, my oldest brother, my mother would make spaghetti and meatballs for him. He liked having, the meat in his spaghetti. I grew up not liking meat in my spaghetti. I just wanted the spaghetti and the sauce. So she had to adjust for me, because it was just like I said, for the longest time, I was the only child in the house. So she adjusted for me. And for the life of me, I cannot make spaghetti the way that my mother makes it. And you would think it would be simple. It's spaghetti and sauce. There is no making the meatballs. There's none of that. And I can't do it. And it pisses me off. And I keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, but I cannot do it. So it's like, okay, I'm going to leave this stuff behind so that they'll be able to do it. I remember things even that my grandmothers would make, egg custard pies. I don't see anybody making that stuff anymore. Oven baked rice pudding. I don't see any of that anymore. So, I mean, there's just things that it gets lost One of my aunts, like I said, every time I get ready to make chicken and dumpling soup, I have to call her. She's in her 90s now, and she's the only one of them left. I gotta write that down, because if not, then I'll be over here racking my brain like, how do I do this? So it's just something to think about, that get those favorite things that your aunts or your uncles or whoever made. One of my babysitters when I was young, her brother would make some kind of stew, and I remember him putting ketchup in it. I can still taste that, but I cannot begin to tell you how he did it. I have no idea. I wish I did. So I think it really is vibrant, and it just makes me mad because I can't figure out. Every once in a while I get close to it, and it's like, oh, that's kind of what it tastes like, but it's just not it. So just think about that. Think about your loved ones who one day they're going to want to know how you made something. At least leave them a reference. It doesn't have to be a big book like this, but who knows? You may want to tell them other things about them, and especially us as, no offense to anybody else, but us as the minority people, and that includes black, brown, red people, whatever, we tend not to share stuff like we should. And it's really sad. There are a lot of secrets that get buried that we should have known. Our history that we should have known. We should have talked about. We should have discussed this. As simple as food. We tend to gather. When we gather, everything is about food. Family reunions, there's food. Funerals, there's food. Weddings, there's food. Birthday parties, there's food. Everything we do is surrounded by food. So let's share those techniques for those recipes so that they're not lost. At least that's how I feel. Cuddle fruit salad? Okay, that's a new one on me. I don't even know what that is. It took me forever to learn how to make sort of thing. Okay, is that better? That better? It took me forever to learn how to make yellow rice. And the only reason why I learned how to do that is because, you know, my son is still muted. Let me see something. Let me see, what did I do? Oh, that wasn't it. Let me put you down. Okay. Okay, can you hear me now? Is that better? Okay, cool. Okay, one of my sons, he likes dating Latino girls. And, I'm that mother. I want to know who you're with. I want to know their family. I want to know everything. So we got to be really close, and we would share food. They would come to eat over here, and I would eat over there, and we spent lots of holidays together. So the girl's grandmother taught me how to make yellow rice. So, lots of things. So I needed to put that down. I learned how to make tamales. I have a friend, she's a Caucasian lady, but she learned, because I live in an area where there are a lot of Hmong people. So they make not only Chinese egg rolls, but they make Hmong egg rolls. So she learned how to do that. So now all of us know how to make egg rolls. I actually have egg roll wrappers in my refrigerator right now because I have been trying to make them for weeks now and I just haven't gotten around to it. So, like I said, things like this, share that stuff. It's a part of us now because, well, my family, they like egg rolls. So I had to learn how to make them. I also might try, because I saw this in a restaurant in Chicago, that they make something called soul food egg rolls, where you basically take your Thanksgiving meal and you mix it up and you put it in an egg roll wrapper and you deep fry it. I don't know. If I have enough leftovers, I might try it and let you guys know how it comes out. We'll see. I have no idea. And then there is, just call me a ripoff. Chili's makes egg roll. What do they call them? Southwest egg rolls, where you have your corn and your black beans and I don't know, taco meat and some cheese, and you put it in an egg roll wrapper, and now that we have the air fryer, which I know I heard you. You want me to do some air fryer recipes. I'm going to definitely do that for you. So who knows what we might come up with, Vibrant. I'll try anything in the air fryer. I have made rolls in the air fryer. I've made cakes in the air fryer. Everything. Vibrant, I just said that I would do them in the air fryer. So, it won't be all that oil involved. See, I told you. I was thinking about you. Yes, Diggy, I've made cake in the air fryer. I've made rolls in the air fryer. I have made cornbread in the air fryer. Fish in the air fryer. The only thing that I have not really tried, and that's French fries. And that's what a lot of people use it for. Oh, mi amor, absolutely. It was for you, my friend. Whatever you ask me for, I'm gonna do that for you. So yeah, so we'll see. I will probably that'll be after Thanksgiving when we're gonna we're gonna come up with some air fryer recipes for our healthy friend here, Vibrant. If anybody has anything they'd like to contribute to the air fryer, oh, French fries are good in there. Okay, cool. Let's see, Miss Monty. I don't have an Instapot. I kind of like my Dutch oven. I kind of like, when it's going to be something simmered long and slow and stuff like that. I like my Dutch oven that I can put on top of the stove, or if I'm not going to be around, then that's what the crock pot is for, as far as I'm concerned. But, a lot of people have Instapots and they love them. Man, just like the bread maker machine, I have that, and if I'm gonna make bread, I want to feel the dough. So that it's just not something that I use. It is what it is. But anyway, I am pretty sure. I don't know what time it is, but I'm pretty sure the heavy hitters are probably out here acting a fool. So we need to go out there and catch the gossip because, baby, these streets have been ripping, flaming hot all week. And I want to go see what's going on out here. I'm just glad that, these people can stop my name ringing out here in these streets, talking crazy stuff. See? Basically, yeah, Miss Money, I have put frozen chicken in the air fryer and I did not have a hard time with it. It was still juicy and tender. I have done pork chops in the air fryer perfectly fine. I have done steak in the air fryer. It is so tender. Like I said, to me, it's nothing more than a convection oven. That's all it is to me. So whatever you can bake in your oven, meat, bread, whatever, you can do it in the air fryer. And it does not have to be any oil involved, period. If you want something a little bit crispy or crunchy, then okay, of course, you can, put a little bit of oil on there, and it's your choice what you want to use. You can use any kind of oil that you want. Well, not any, because you don't want to use something with a really, really low smoking point. So, avocado oil, coconut oil, those are really good if you want to be on the healthy tip. But yeah. So, okay, my friends, my loves, let's think about some air fryer recipes that either you want me to try or that you've tried, and we can share them with everybody else. Take some pictures or some videos of your Thanksgiving process or your finished products so that you can share them, because just about everybody has a community page, so I would love to see them. Thank you all so much for spending time with me. I absolutely appreciate it when you take time for me, because you could have been doing something else. Let's go out here in these streets and be nosy, minding other people's business, because that's what we're here for. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye bye.